All right. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, July 26, 2022. It's now 10 a.m. We're here for the regular session of the Hunt County Commissioners Court. At this time, I'll call the meeting to order and ask Commissioner Martin to lead us in prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our flags. Will you please stand?
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the gift of life. We ask you to keep on protecting this great country from the evil outside and within. We thank you for everything that you have given us. We thank you for our healthcare workers, our peacemakers. In Christ's name we ask all these things. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I take this flag, pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, one God, one, indivisible.
Thank you, everyone. We have Commissioner Hutchins, Strait, Martin, and Harrison present. I'm Judge Stovall. I'll be presiding over the meeting today. Commissioners, you have the minutes from July 12th, 2022. Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
And a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. You have the minutes for July 18th, 2022 special session. Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we will have public testimony. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes and should conduct themselves in a civil manner. The Commissioners' Court cannot take action on items not listed on the agenda in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Concerns will be addressed by staff. They may be placed on a future agenda or addressed by some other course of response. Do we have? All right. Roberts, and I'm not going to try to say that name. Yeah. Smorworski, so, yeah.
So good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Robert Smorworski, 1356 Francesca Drive, Lowell, Texas. I am the local account manager for Rural Solutions here in North Texas. As you guys may have known, the city of Greenville has decided to move forward with the Rural Solutions P25 radio system. What I'm here today is to make a few things clear for the court. Hunt County can still join the city of Greenville radio system. The city of Greenville, through their committee, through their needs assessment, built and designed a system with capacity and redundancy to add on additional entities. Their sites, their system capacity, their system capabilities meets their needs. Now it's the county's turn to understand what your needs are in terms of coverage and develop a site design that the county's first responders can rely on today and in the future. Our understanding is that our competitor provided a proposal to y'all, which was $3.2 million over 10 years to have 2 sites on the system. During the past month, Motorola has worked to put together a budgetary based on the information that we've gathered from their proposal. 2 sites, one in Commerce, one in Quinlan, dispatch consoles, radios, all the like. Our budgetary came in at $2.7 million over 10 years. We have the budgetary. We're more than happy to sit down with you and walk through to make sure that we've captured what we need to capture. But let me be clear, right? Motorola is here because we want to have a proper needs assessment. We want to sit down with the county and improve upon the budgetary and the proposals you guys have already seen. We want to put together a system to join Greenville that meets the county's first responders' needs today and in the future. I'm here today hoping that the county will work with Motorola, and I'm also here to save taxpayer dollars. Our proposal, our budgetary came in at over $400,000 less than our competitors. It's also my understanding that the county had committed $2 million to the city of Greenville. The county can still do that. The county can also invest in additional radio infrastructure. The county can also use those funds elsewhere. I appreciate the time y'all took to listen to me today. I encourage y'all to reach out. We're more than happy to sit down with the county, with the SO, and understand what a proper radio system that meets the coverage needs of the county today and the future look like. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Daniel, can I address a couple of things? Well, I was going to correct one fact. They've not given us a new proposal. The only proposal we have is the one that included the city of Greenville. We were working on a new one. So we don't have those numbers.
I understand, yeah.
Okay.
We went out and wanted at the end of June to join the city system.
Well, you said you already were looking at theirs for what was done, but it's changing. Yeah.
May I state a fact?
Yes.
You know, it's kind of funny to me that this thing's been going on probably for I don't know how many years, and then it's got real interested in the last 4 or 5 months. And basically, different agencies have made decisions in reference to that, and now all of a sudden we're getting something from Motorola in reference what the true facts are in reference to possibility of what it'll cost us versus the other. This has been the long drawn out thing I've ever seen in my life for one thing, one person not wanting to come to the other. Y'all have been negotiating all this time in reference to Greenville, basically, and I've seen it back and forth and all this. Now I'm wondering why, and I thought all this was done in reference to a bid, but now all of a sudden we're interacting with each other trying to bounce it down to a different number of what was had to do with what was submitted for to begin with. In actuality, it's fact that I imagine both agencies are getting pretty tired of it, to be quite honest with you. When this should have been done, I don't know how long ago. And that's my fact.
Thank you. All right, Nancy Crandall. There you go. Thank you, Brittany.
Yes, I'm Nancy Crandall. I live at 1120. Oh, I'm Nancy Crandall. I live at 1120 Eastern Drive in Greenville, Texas. I've lived in Greenville for 6 years. I retired here, and this was brought to my attention a couple of years ago, and at that time I didn't have a problem, but now I do. I'm 75 years old and handicapped and kind of going downhill with age, unfortunately. But we have a problem in Greenville, and some people are, after they pass away, are going to nursing homes and they have elderly friends staying with them or something, then their houses are confiscated for back mowing expenses because they can't afford to mow their properties. And also, you know, if you live in an area like I do, your HOA will come down on you all the time and harass you with phone calls and letters and all kinds of stuff if you can't get it done. And I'm having a really hard time budgeting, and it's very difficult for me to get out and do anything. I do try to mow a little bit. I have a mower that's like my walker that kind of pulls me along, but it'll take me, like I have a small yard, and it takes me to do the front, back, and sides. It takes me about 5 or 6 days to do it if I'm lucky. So, you know, and sometimes, you know, nice neighbors will come and mow for me, but I can't depend on that. And we have a very simple solution to this. And I've talked to a lot of people over the last year. What we can do is have the people that are on probation come out and mow, you know, and, you know, the people have to qualify. Like I'm on Medicare, Medicaid now, and I'm considered disabled, so I qualify. I didn't whenever I started this, but I do now, and before I had money to pay. Well, with COVID, all my money kind of went away except for Social Security, and I know a lot of other people have too. So, you know, the solution is, you know, the probation people come in and mow for the United Way, which is Fish and other areas like that. Why can't they mow for people? And one thing I've heard was that, well, it's a liability issue, you know, because all these people are criminals. Well, they're not all criminals. They've paid their debt and everything, and most of them are there for minor offenses, or they wouldn't be on probation. They'd be on parole or something like that, but they're on probation, you know, and they're usually good people. Okay, I don't have any problem with liability because, you know, if you think they're going to case your place and everything, I have my house cased all the time, and I have people get into it all the time, and whenever you get older, you find out that a lot of people try to take advantage of you. So, you know, but I'm having a really difficult time keeping up with my yard, and I know a lot of other people are too, and I don't want the county to come in and mow it and then charge me for it, and then later on, if I do get a caretaker or somebody that's older that wants to stay in there, and I die off or go into a nursing home, then all of a sudden, they can't stay in the house because the mowing bills are not paid, okay? There's some other issues too, but that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go into that. But, I don't see any problem with this. And besides that, years ago, a lady that I worked in, 40 years ago to be exact, a lady that I worked with at the church at the Vacation Bible School, I was working very closely with her and everything, and she left on Friday afternoon early when we were still doing our program, and it turned out she went over and axed to death a friend of mine, and everybody thought, I couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it. So you can have somebody that's working with you at the church that's going to turn around and kill you, so I don't see any problem with the people on probation. They're trying to do the right thing, or they wouldn't be on probation. So I don't see any problem with liability on that. And, and I have a lot of people that, have come and mowed for me, and they make mistakes, and they, hack up something I don't want hacked up, but that's something you have to deal with. But I tell you what, most of these people that I've dealt with on probation, they're very conscientious, and they try to do the right thing.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay.
I think you've been talking to Jessica some, and I called the probation office, and they can't send out community service workers. They're not allowed to. They have to go through a nonprofit, and I've got a meeting next week with some of the nonprofits and people that work with nonprofits, and the probation department told me they need more nonprofits signed up with them for community service workers. So I'm going to try to get more people involved in the probation projects that can help people like yourself, and hopefully I'll have some luck, but I'm going to make an attempt to get some more nonprofits signed up, and those that maybe be willing to take this project on.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so very much.
That's the best that we can do from
That's
here.
great.
So.
That's great. Thank you so very, very much.
You bet.
Ma'am, where do you live?
I live in the Cedars over behind Home Depot. It's 1120 Ethan Drive. It's a very nice area. And, it's all my money's tied up in my house. And I don't have any extra money right now. I'm living on $12,000 from my Social Security a year. And I try to get extra projects going. I've had things going in the past, but everything's kind of fallen apart. And hopefully things will pick up. But it's still the mowing, whenever I moved in there, was $25 a week for front and back and everything. Now it's running $75 to $100, and I cannot budget that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll try to get you some help.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody online? No. Anybody else here wish to speak? If not, we'll move on. Commissioners, you got the consent calendar in front of you. Entertain a motion for approval of the consent calendar.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I have some statement. I got a call in reference, and I think the court needs to know this, and I'd like to put this on record in reference to it. Clay Hodges called, and we've had some problem in the past in reference to future spectrum and all this, basically not calling in dig tests and stuff like this. And since January, Cash Water Company has actually had $45,268 worth of damage because they keep on digging out water lines and stuff like this. They've received right at $20,990 in reference to being paid back in reference to some of it, and I advised him that I would say this, and basically I would like Jessica to contact them and give them a number in reference to it. It'll be Cash Water Company, and to advise them who the contacts are in reference, basically that I told him that we had a discussion, Judge had a discussion and a meeting and all that, and that we'd be glad to give him a number that he could contact in reference to it.
Are you talking about Frontier or Spectrum?
We're talking about both of them. Both.
I don't know that I
Where
have.
Spectrum's doing it is when they're crossing roads. Most of Cash Water Company's utilities is on private property. But what they're doing is when they're coming across roads, they're hitting their water lines and stuff like that. I was down on Mallard Drive that one day, and it was Spectrum they were putting underground. And I went to one end and come back, there was 2 water leaks right there. So basically, I advised them that they were going to have to continue doing as such, but I would give them the phone number in reference to calling them.
I'm not sure we have Spectrum. We do you? Okay.
Yes.
We've had, the meeting we had was with Frontier. We've not had a meeting with Spectrum. This is first complaint I've heard. It's the first one we've heard of, so, but we will try to get the phone numbers to Cash Water and Clay Hodges.
Thank you. Thank you. And I would like to make a motion reference accepting consent calendar.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of accounts payable.
I make a motion we pay the bills.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of line item transfers.
Make a motion to approve line item transfers.
So, second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of budget amendments.
Make a motion to approve budget amendments.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of payroll and personnel.
Make a motion to approve payroll and personnel.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 1, a presentation from Pubworks for software services and services. Turn it over to you, Pete.
Yes, thank you very much. I've never used one of these before, so bear with me. I feel like a game show host. Judge, Commissioners, thank you for having me this morning. I'm here to give a quick, maybe 10-minute presentation on Pubworks. That's our software product for public works.
Can I interrupt you just a second? Did they set it up where it's online? Is it showing online, the screen?
It is not.
It is not? Jessica, you remember how to do this?
Share screen.
Yeah, I got to go back to it, though. I close it, don't I?
Bear with us.
Excuse me just a second. Technology is not my thing. And it close and then go share screen? I got to hit close.
Okay.
And then laptop or?
Yeah, laptop and then share screen. Or just click share, maybe.
Here? No, I always hit something.
That one.
Ryan, were you part of this training too? Do you know how to do this? Okay.
Well, I hit laptop and that's when it went on, and then I don't know if it's share screen here or what.
Where's share screen?
Click share. Oh, no. Back. There ain't a back button, y'all. Hit laptop.
All right. I don't know how to share it then. Okay, well, we'll just do it with that online, being able to have it visible.
Not here.
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
It's not there.
Are we still live?
Sorry about that.
Okay, no
I
problem.
was trying to let the people online see it, but I don't.
Understood. So thank you again for having me. I'll move through this presentation fairly quickly. I think there's a portion at the end for questions and answers. But the software product I'm representing is called Pubworks. We call ourselves the software for public works. We have quite a wide range of features and capabilities listed there up on the screen. My name is Pete Anzalone. I'm the president and founder, and thank you again for having me here this morning. Our business started in western Colorado in 1997, and it was designed around the county road and bridge operations in our vicinity. And now we've got 730 customers in the United States and Canada, and we believe that we're an excellent fit for Texas counties. And there's a list of about 14 or so Texas counties that are in our customer portfolio. We'd love to have Hunt County added to that list, of course. One of our mottos is we document work. So what do we do really? Well, we build, we market, we sell, we support an asset management and work order system that includes fleet maintenance for city and county public works departments, highway departments, road and bridge departments, any sort of agency that is responsible for public asset maintenance. One of the problems with technology, as we've just discovered, is that there are some difficulties. And our software is designed around the concept of multiple easy buttons, if you will. So easy to install and administer, easy to maintain, very easy to learn and use, very easy to customize for your specific needs. We're a multi-user system, centralized and secured database. There's hundreds and hundreds of reports that customers can use to analyze their data and produce information. We can install the system on your local server hardware or in our cloud, whichever is more preferable to you. We have mobile apps that work in both the Android and iOS environment. And when these apps are operational, they do not require an expensive data plan. Some of the things we help customers with, and we've got some examples that I might go through, I'm not sure. A lot of our customers are in the business of grading roads, repairing potholes, executing mobile field operations. They need to run reports. A lot of times there's FEMA events that they need to contend with, and our software very adroitly deals with all of these things quite nicely. We believe we have a very difficult to beat value proposition. Our software, we have wide and deep features. It's easy to use and very affordable. And our competitors might make a similar argument. Some of them are very wide, very comprehensive, very deep, but they're hard to use. Others are easy to use, but they lack the functional depth, the comprehensive functionality that we possess. And then a lot of times these systems are quite expensive, not only in the near term, but over the length of your relationship with that company. We feel that Pubworks has very comprehensive breadth and depth. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to manage. It's very much geared towards the smaller agency that may or may not have a great deal of IT sophistication. And also, we're very, very affordable. We feel we provide a superior value to customers. Our system is built around an inventory of your physical assets, your roads, your bridges, your buildings, your parks, whatever they might be. You have the flexibility to customize those sets of assets to match the reality in the field for you, for your precinct, for your county. We don't charge per asset type like many of our competitors. So there's no upcharge if you do roads and bridges and buildings, and parks, and culverts, and signs. Many other firms will, for each one of those asset classes or types, price climbs for each additional asset type. For each asset type in our system, you can customize attributes so that you can easily distinguish signs from culverts, culverts from guardrails, guardrails from buildings, buildings from parks, parks from roads, roads from bridges. And this is all very easy to manage, not only with desktop software, but with mobile apps in the field as well. All of this asset data is seamlessly shared amongst all the software modules that you can put together to implement your Pubworks system. All users can have access to this data. That access can be controlled so that not everybody can modify things or add things. This one single source of data, and there's many, many multiple ways for customers to use that data in ways that are natural to them. A big feature that we bring to the table is job costing, accurate and comprehensive job costing. What did we do? Where did we do it? What did it cost? And then based on the documentation of that work, documenting where you were, what you did, who did it, what equipment was used, what materials were consumed. There's literally hundreds of reports that can calculate and allocate those costs to the tasks you perform, the assets you possess, the projects you're running, service requests and work orders that you are taking care of, and your roster of employees as well. In a lot of highway departments, public works departments, accountability is a major concern. With our system, there are really no cracks for work orders to fall through. Our mobile app comes with notification and escalation capabilities to keep people up to date on where things stand with respect to what's in their inbox, let's call it. And there are, as I mentioned before, multiple reports and views in the system to help you keep an eye on what's open, what's closed, what's pending, what's denied, the current status of your data and the goings-on that that data represents is easily and readily available to you. Our Pubworks mobile product leverages great efficiency for you. So mobile means efficiency. Your workers can document work as it happens instead of having to come back to the crew room, filling out a paper timesheet, handing that timesheet off to perhaps a data entry person, and that data entry person enters what they wrote on the timesheet, with perhaps not necessarily the best handwriting, into a system. Maybe not that day, maybe a week later, maybe a month later. So with the Pubworks mobile product, workers can document work as it happens. It's fresh in their minds. It's right in their fingertips. The mobile product also allows us to divide and conquer. So instead of one person doing all the data entry based on a number of timesheets, workers can each enter their own time, their own tasks, their own accounting of what they did for the day, and that spreads that fairly sizable workload across many, many shoulders. Another thing that mobile provides in terms of efficiency, and it's pretty important these days with expensive gas, although I noticed that gas was relatively inexpensive here as I was driving on I-30. Reducing needless trips back and forth to the office to pick up a piece of paper or some other information. With Pubworks Mobile, work orders are delivered right to your device as they are entered in the system, and updates are immediately available once they are made. In a lot of agencies, knowing what's going on is a challenge. So Pubworks provides a great deal of transparency in the form of reports that analyze what was done and where that work was done. Our integration with GIS allows you to look at maps. Those maps have your assets on them. You can click on a road, click on a sign. You can look at its attributes. You can see what work was done to it. That kind of transparency is what a modern software system should provide. A big ticket item for many, many counties in particular is FEMA reporting. When a flood comes through, an ice storm, what have you, and you have a FEMA declaration, there are reports that you can run that are formatted exactly like the FEMA representatives want. And with a mouse click or two, you can provide that report to your FEMA agent, saving you enormous amounts of time and collecting your reimbursements much more quickly. And I guess I've mentioned this already. We've got lots and lots of reports. That's the last bullet point there. We're a full-service company. We've been in business since 1997. We're growing. We're active. We have a product roadmap. We're hiring. We're adding new customers. So we're here to support and service customers that purchase our product. Our help desk hours are from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. Our team is very widely skilled. They know tech. They know your business. They're really nice. Many of them have come from city and county government operations. And the empathy that they can project, their kindness and their patience, really help our customers succeed with our product. Well, we think Pubworks would be good for you. That's your judgment, of course. But we know, based on our customer count, we've got 383 customers. Approximately half of them are counties. We're a great fit for County Road and Bridge. Our product was designed around a county road and bridge operation in western Colorado. We have a proven track record here in your state and around the nation. In counties in California, in New York, Texas, Minnesota, Montana, lot of different varieties of county operations, and they all fit into our system extremely well. As I mentioned, we feel our value proposition of comprehensive functionality, ease of use, and affordability very, very hard to beat. We know, because we've seen them, we know that our mobile app, compared to our competitors, is best in class. It provides service requests and work orders in the field, the ability to document work in the field, the ability to look up and maintain physical assets in the field, the ability to inventory new assets in the field. In other words, perform a sign inventory or a culvert or guardrail inventory. It provides the capability to manage inspections in the field, and all of those capabilities can be viewed in the field on a map without a data plan. So saves money that way. And one of the best things we bring to the table, I feel, is our customer service and support. And that is essential to maximize the value customers derive out of our system. What happened there? Is that the end of the show? I think that's the end of the show. So hopefully not too torturous and long. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. And I've got copies of the presentation if you care to take one home with you. I've also got some marketing materials that we distribute at trade shows and through the mail if you're interested in that. And of course, last but not least, if you want my business card, I've got quite a few to share.
All right, Commissioners, you got any questions? I've already proven I'm not very technical, so maybe y'all got better luck.
That leaves Philip out too. Mark, is this what you went to or went and demoed over in Collin County a couple of months ago or something?
Yes, I've been looking into this for a little bit of time now and visited with about 3 different counties that are users. And so far, they've all been very pleased with the product. This isn't really a question, but I'm going to state how something works and tell me if I'm correct.
Yeah.
One of the main values that I see is that this helps us capture our cost and our workflow accurately. So if I'm driving down the road and I see that there is a stretch of road that has been damaged by people harvesting a crop, I can enter a work order on that. It goes in there, my foreman or whoever is reviewing that gets it. He sends somebody out there, and that's the easy part. What's more difficult to capture sometimes is all the pennies and dollars of the cost of that job. Where with this software, it's going to have my guys in there, and it's going to assign a value based on what they're paid, so we know what the hourly value of their work is. It's going to have an inventory of all of our equipment, so when we go and use equipment to complete that job, and we come back and we enter the time of the equipment that we use, it's going to automatically tell us what it cost us to run that equipment for that job. And of course, there's fuel as well. And then if there's material needed for that, then of course that material will be added to it. So something as simple as a small bit of road repair is oftentimes difficult to capture the cost of, but this software helps us track all those costs down to the penny, both for our purposes for planning and then also for transparency purposes. It's something that we can easily provide to the public. So I've been impressed with the robustness of the software, and I've observed in talking with other counties that it can be intimidating when you hear this has 600 and something different reports, and they're growing every day. It seems to be like Dollar Generals. The reports are just growing and increasing. But it's highly customizable. You use it how it works for your county. So Grayson County uses it differently than Collin County, and Collin County uses it differently than Ellis County. And so whatever makes sense for your county is what works, is what you should do, and it'll work for you. Now, this is not something that has to be used on a countywide basis. It can be used on a precinct level too. So I'm excited to continue looking into this and potentially moving forward in my precinct. But it's something I want to make sure the whole county saw as well, because I think it could have some value across the board for all of us.
Didn't you also meet with Chris Kilmer about possibly using it for the maintenance as well?
Yes, it has it could be used as well for that. The asset management part of it is for equipment and buildings. Anything we own can be in this system and used. Parts that is used for repairs and maintenance. So it could be maintenance, fleet management, road and bridges. All these things can be used can be in this system and used for that purpose.
I thought that Chris Kilmer and them already had a system in reference to what they use as far as different applications. I thought they already had one. I thought we had already paid for one.
I believe he has a system, so he may want to stick with that for now. We don't have to, each department can make.
We'd have to check, Phil, and see if that's on a lease basis, an annual something, or if it's, if we purchase it and just paying maintenance fees on it.
I don't know. I thought that
remember.
we already had it.
Yeah, he has something, and we bought it, but I don't remember if it was just something we paid for the service on a annual basis, and we could cancel it at any time. So we just have to check it in that, see. I don't remember.
I would also like to find out, basically, we're talking about what all this is going to do, and looking, how many employees have they had to hire extra secretaries in reference to keeping up with all this, and how much is it, let's say, per precinct?
Each county uses it differently. Larger counties like Collin County do have people, I don't believe it's their full-time job, but who are, I forget what they call it, but data management specialists, and they oversee that. I spoke with another county where they don't have that person. It's just each precinct, the foreman or somebody in that precinct manages the workflow of it and reporting. So whatever works for each county.
In reference to your, I would like to have a copy of everything you have in reference to it, that we could look at it, but do you have I have not heard of a price in reference to it. Do you have a price comparable to the size of this county, of what it costs for all precincts?
Yes, our sales rep provided quotes on that.
That's within your booklet, that?
It's it's not part of this presentation, but I can share those quotes with you.
I would like to see those quotes, please.
I've got single copies of them here. I'll be happy to, share them with you. You could just take them if you wish.
Yeah, that'll be good. I think you need to pass it out to work.
Even though I should add that even though you have what appears to be a good mobile app, the software does not depend on the mobile app. If that doesn't make sense for a county, then you can use it with desktop and print off work orders if you need to. That may not be the most efficient thing, but maybe transitioning it would make more sense.
Well, one of the strategies we tried to use with customers, because quite frankly, Public Works is more of a blue-collar environment where technology isn't always readily embraced. We encourage customers to start in the shallow end of the pool. If we go back to that very first slide that we had, those line items in black, represent a great deal of functionality. Not all of our customers take advantage of it. Our system is modular, so it's like going to dinner a la carte. You can say, well, I want the work order piece, I don't want fleet maintenance, I want job costing, and just leave it at that. And then over time, as you gain efficiency and competency in the program and become more comfortable with it, perhaps you add the fleet maintenance piece, perhaps you add inspections, perhaps you don't. But by starting in the shallow end of the pool, it costs you less to get started, there's less risks involved, there's less to learn, so you can concentrate on those pieces you did buy. And then it's easier to master those one or two things instead of being perhaps overwhelmed with 4 or 5 things.
Could I suggest that maybe, would it be possible for y'all to come out and do demos for the commissioners?
We could
do
that.
it either as a special session, or we could do it 2 at a time, and you'd have to do it twice during the day, but to meet the guidelines for a meeting. But either way, we could post it as a workshop, and all 4 of you could be in and get hands-on on it and see what you think about it. Or you can do them 2 at a time, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon.
Or most of our demos, frankly, are done through a Zoom call, if you will.
That'd be fine too. I mean, if you did it through Zoom and two at a time or one at a time, however y'all wanted to do it, but,
Just let Mark kind of take the lead.
Yeah, Mark.
Some setup since you've been dealing with it.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. And I should add, when I first started looking into this, I did the initial demo, so I'm good on that. And I drew in, had also some other people in the county, IT and auditing, because I wanted their perspective on how well this would integrate with their field. And I've gotten, good marks on that so far. But yeah.
just make sure y'all check with Daniel when y'all are setting up that meeting and make sure we're not in violation of open meetings.
Yeah, for sure. I'll take lead on that.
Okay. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Or
it.
Pete, I'm sorry. Pete.
My son's named Paul. It's
Yeah.
always confused.
You'll answer
Don't worry
anything.
about it.
All right,
Find out.
we'll
Thank you,
move on
Jeff.
to action item number 2, the county judge's office filing a claim with the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts for unclaimed capital credits pursuant to local government code 381-004 and Texas property code 74.602. Commissioners, we file this every year. We never get any money out of it, but we always continue to do that. And it's monies that where once you're a member of a co-op like FEC or something, you're always getting dividend checks for a long period of time, I guess. And if they come back and they're unclaimed, then they go into an unclaimed account, and over time, then those monies are dispersed to the counties. So far, I don't think we've ever gotten any money that we know that Bruce and them can find, but I'd like to make a motion that I have the ability to fill out that request to the state comptroller, and we'll ask again for the money and hope we get it.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Action item 3, the quarterly report of Senate Commerce and Animal Shelter. Commissioners, you got that in your packet. You got any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the quarterly report from Animal Shelter.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 4, the quarterly report for Hunt County Volunteer Fire Departments. Chief Whitehead.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning.
Before you have the report for the Hunt County Fire Association for each department for this past quarter. Toward the back, we have all of the departments broken down by their calls and call type for each one of the months. The entire report is actually summarized on page 2, which kind of breaks out each one of the departments, their total calls made, total number of missed calls for this quarter, and then there's a fourth column out there for missed fire calls for this quarter as well, which is taken out of the total missed calls. Down at the bottom, we also have the Commerce E-Corps, who provides rehab for any of the fire departments that need it for large fires and structure fires. Their numbers are included at the bottom, just kind of as a reference.
I'm a little concerned with Cattle Mills missing 44 calls.
Yes, I have not actually been able to talk to Cattle Mills chief about that. I plan to contact him and see what is going on there. Majority of that is medical calls, so we do have a ambulance going, and there is mutual aid on the way as well. But I'd plan to speak with him about that as well.
I'd like some clarification on that. And I also, I do like on the individual departments, how y'all broken it down to EMS calls, motor vehicle accidents and all that. I think Ryan kind of changed it up from the last report, and I like this a lot better.
Yes, he did. He said that way, get a little bit more clarification out of it.
Helps us out, definitely.
I'd like to find out if y'all got the box as far as backing each other, if y'all got that changed from what it was.
Box alarms, my understanding, there has been a couple of departments that has requested some box alarm changes, but there has been very few changes to any.
Okay,
The mix-up got straightened out.
okay, that's what I'm asking. I appreciate that, but I also want to say this. It's been a heck of a last 3 or 4 weeks for y'all.
It has.
I tell you what, I know in my area, and also down in, Quinlan, Precinct 3, the whole area and everyone, y'all been out there fighting the heck out of these fires. I know of 1564, basically, y'all had a real bad one down there, but y'all got to it fast. I know this, I know we still have people thinking it's smart to burn, but we appreciate this Commissioners Court appreciates what y'all do, and we know that it's tough on y'all. So we do thank you.
Well, thank y'all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank y'all.
Commissioners, entertain a motion for approval of the quarterly report for the Hunt County Volunteer Fire Department.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Action item 5, Richard Hill asked me to give them another 2 weeks to work on it a little further. They found out some new information and they want to amend what they had given us, and we'll have some changes in it, so we'll table it till the next meeting. Action item 6, Hunt County Constable fee sheet proposal. Michael, you going to be the spokesperson? Lucky you.
Good morning to all y'all. So our fees haven't been updated since 2018. Obviously, we're behind. It's 2022.
Mike, if you will, look at the thing, please. Thank you. Appreciate you.
That better?
Yeah.
Okay. So since our fees haven't been updated since 2018, we're wanting to make some changes on it. To come up with an idea of fees that we needed to be at, I went to the Texas Comptroller's webpage and searched the surrounding counties around us. And by doing that, we're really close on all our service fees, within $5. We're way behind on what our writs should be. Our writs should be anywhere on the sheets, anywhere from 100 to 200. On the western counties, they're all at 200. Southern counties and the north up to us on Fannin County are at 175. Hopkins County is at 100, and they just raised theirs last year. And Delta County is at 150. So we're proposing to raise all of our writ fees to $150. From 2 of them, I think, are at 125. The rest of them are at 100, but we'd like them to be 150 across the board. Second thing we've talked about doing is adding a 10% buyer's fee on all tax warrants, writs of execution, and orders of sales. And that doesn't affect anybody other than the person purchasing the property. If you go and look at all that, it's kind of an interesting deal, because when you start looking at the other counties that charge us, and there's a ton of them that charge a 10% buyer's fee, some of them are capped with 10% at $10,000. Some of them go up to $50,000, and then they go down to a half the total percent. So if they're at 10, they'll drop it down to 5% after an X number of dollars. Some of them have a cap of all they're going to make is this much off of a total sale. We're just asking for 10% straight across the board, because all of our tax sales, et cetera, are usually pretty low, less than $20,000. So it's not like it's a whole lot of money added to it.
That money collected at the time of the
sale.
sale?
Yes, it just gets tacked on, just like a buyer's fee.
Okay.
And from what we're looking at, if you take the time we took office in a year and a half ago, we've sold almost $2 million in tax warrants alone, and that's a pretty good chunk of change that we're missing out on.
So there was a lot of backlog from COVID.
Right.
It won't be that projected.
It won't always be that high, I'm sure, but, you know, it's just money that we're missing out on. Some of the other counties will charge, if I've served you your tax warrant or your tax docket to come to court, you don't come to court, you already got your late fees, 5, 6 years, however long it is, you haven't paid your back taxes. And some of these other counties are actually charging them 5% on that side of it. We're not wanting to do that, because the taxpayer's already had a penalty on his fees. He's behind for a reason, and tacking the extra 5% is just not right. So we're only asking for it on the top side.
I agree. Everybody agree with that, constables? Yes, sir. They're all in agreement? I can't quite see all of them. Okay.
What I'd like to find out is this right here, the paperwork that you turned in, constable fee sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th, it's number 5. In reference where you're saying would like for the 10% reference to the buyers, am I correct? Correct. Okay. since in the middle, basically, y'all are saying, well, some of them are doing, these same counties also charge a 5% on taxes. They get paid once and the property was set aside for sale. And taxes got paid, then the property was struck off the sale sheet. At this time, this is to us is unfair. So in other words, you're telling what everybody is. What you're asking for is the 10% across.
Yes, but not on the backside. If it gets struck off the sale, we're not wanting to charge it there because that means if it was your family.
Okay, but in reference to that, y'all are there anyway for charging a fee, am I correct?
Correct.
You're there charging a fee, basically, anyway. And I would like to bring this up. Our tax lawyers, they charge 15% in reference to this, and this has been not taken out of the citizens and all this. But in actuality, they're getting paid 15%. Y'all are making a fee for being there. So now we're wanting the people that are actually buying some of this land that we can't even build a house on add 10%. Am I correct?
It beats raising the fees, $20 or $30 or $100, which is gonna cost all of your taxpayers money.
No,
Where
I-
they-
But I would feel it.
I agree that we need to raise these fees, but my question is the 10% in reference to the person that's buying it.
Well, Philip,
That's what I'm
the 15% is not been charged. I mean, if they keep the property, they're not gonna be in the sale, the taxpayers are paying the 15%. If it's coming to the sale, the taxpayer's not paying it because they're losing their property.
Yeah, they're losing the
So
property and
they're not
basically,
paying, it's not costing our taxpayers anymore because they've already lost they're losing the property.
it's costing, what money, that money comes out as far as the tax dollars, that 15%, that comes out of what it's sold for. Now, my question on this right here, let's say, I agree you need to increase, but now I'm going to go in reference to this 10% and all this. I want to bring up these statistics, and I'm wanting to find out where this money's going to be taken to. In actuality, Constable 1, is that Richie? Okay. Your revenues that we did in reference to the budget was 75,000, right? So basically what you've done is you've already turned in 91,000. So you've basically have 16,000 more than what you were supposedly, and this comes out of the fund, operating fund in reference to department revenue. So you've done that well. Commerce, 16,000 is what you were budgeted in reference to it. You've gotten 17,500 up to date as of yesterday. Celeste, 1,200, this was what was budgeted. Basically, y'all have gone up to $2,780 is what y'all have collected. Y'all know this. Precinct, Constable 4, Quinlan, their budget was 22,000. They collected 27,000 as of yesterday. Now, this 10,000, that dollar, for instance, I know that all these fees that were going up, which I agree with, okay, that money goes right back to the constable in reference to it because you have a district judge that's saying where the money shall go on in these lands, right? Y'all know that? You knew it, did you know it? So they're telling us where this money's going. Now this 10% in reference to this, is this going to the same aspect to the constable's office that is serving it? Or are y'all trying to divide it up and say everybody gets parts of it all?
That's a question that's to be determined still. If it comes down to we're going to split it up, then rightfully so. Each one of us should take on our own tax warrants and relieve Richie of doing tax warrants in my precinct. And then that money can be stuck in my precinct.
Well, that's the way it,
And neither do the other ones. Right now, he does all the tax warrants. But if he's going to do all the tax warrants, then we need to split it back to where each precinct does their own tax warrants. That gives each precinct more workload.
But then all four of you have to show up the first Tuesday of the month, yeah.
Yes, sir. Not a problem.
Yeah.
that's,
We have two issues here.
Come to the mic.
Come on up.
Yeah, we gotta be on the mic, Richie.
I think there's really two issues. Right now, I think we want to just really talk about the 10% across the board.
Yes.
The other issue, obviously, what was just brought up right now is the who, what, where, and when all the funds that comes in is going to be handled. And I think that's something we need to talk about when it comes to that point. So I think right now, if I'm not mistaken, we just want to talk about the 10%, and then us
Come back with a
Constable,
proposal.
We're going to come back and say, hey, this is kind of what we want to figure out, where it goes, who it goes, how it's going to be utilized, and all that. Because the process behind it is so much greater than what people think it is. It's splitting it up. So there's a bigger process in play that we're not going to bring to the court right now. So like I said, I think.
Well, I don't, yeah, y'all need to kind of think about, it doesn't make any sense, all four of you come up there every Tuesday, and, of course, you may not have something in your precinct, but to have you all show up is kind of a waste of resources, and I'd hate to see us do that, but y'all need to either come up with a way y'all rotate it around so Richie doesn't have to do it every time, or, something that,
There's a lot more behind the scenes that
right.
that takes on when you do a tax sale, just a tax sale in general. So, I mean, there's so many other moving parts that have to be worked, and at this point right now, we need to talk about that. But the only thing we really need to talk about today is the 10% across the board.
That's what we were wanting to do today is, first we wanted to get it implemented. Once we get the 10%, we know that that's going to happen. Then we're actually planning on meeting just after this to start those discussions of the who, what, when, where, and how.
So I guess we put this in effect starting October 1st, so we'd have to have that settled in time to get it budgeted correctly, I guess. Here's it's revenue, and we don't know what revenue's going to be anyway, so I don't guess it's holding us up on anything, is it, Bruce?
Well, the revenue in the past, I have budgeted, it's in general operating.
Right.
It's and it's not actually tied to any constable, it's just in general operating. And it goes in general operating for just like, the commission out of the tax office goes into general operating. It doesn't go to the tax office, it comes to general operating.
Right.
So those are issues that need to be looked at. Now, I guess the tax sale itself is, we had to kind of learn ourselves some of these questions. I didn't understand the 10% because, I know real estate commission's usually 6%, but you're going to tack it on to the buyer up front, I guess, from
Like an auction. It is an auction,
yeah.
so most auctions charge you a 10% buyer fee.
So if somebody bought a property for $20,000, they would have to actually pay $22,000 with the 10%.
But the other part that I've seen is I've seen when we have some items come through the auditor's office, there's some excess money from tax sales, and it's payable to the district clerk.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like from there, the district clerk has a part of this, and it can be in there for several months or a year or two until, I guess, the district judges decide what happens with it.
Well, they got to give notice to, Daniel can probably be able to answer this, but they give notice to the prior owner, and if they claim it within 2 years, I believe it is, then they have the ability to come get it after 2 years, then it gets tendered back to the county.
But
But there's different rules that apply to different types of collections. Sometimes
That's
they have
right.
1 year, sometimes they have
2.
It's just excess. It's just excess funds that were.
But if it's a fee, it's still, it gets paid.
Right.
And so, it would hurt, to Philip's point, a taxpayer, which it rarely happens, but it does happen occasionally, where it brings more money than what was actually owed. We may have had more of it in the last year or two with real estate going up.
That's what I noticed in the last few times. We've had
Yeah.
more, and I figured because of the houses are up and.
Yeah, everything's gone up in value so much.
But I think everybody needs to see the whole picture from start to end to fully understand and making a decision.
Why don't we just table this for now, and y'all go figure it out and give us some time to think about it, and then we can address it at another meeting in the near future.
Your Honor, there's something else I'd like to bring up. Basically, I'd like to put that 10% down right now, have it discussed, but go on and implement the fees itself, the rest of the fees. But understand this.
It doesn't matter about
right
that,
here.
Philip, it don't go into effect till October 1st, so we might as well do it all at the same time.
Okay, well, here's the deal right here. Who's dispersing these funds? The district judge. Hunt County Auditor's Office publication, 197 Hunt County District Constable Commission. Each commission, constable has the commission off of it, and then Lineberger, Grogan, and all this. What my question is basically all this money is put in a fund, just like he said. Basically, that goes into Chapter 10 revenue funds for that, for y'all. And each one of y'all's, those later up on our deciding what the budget is for the next year, that fund is related over. My question is, and this is a question for an attorney, in actuality, can those funds, in other words, we start out with zero every budget year, the only ones that don't are the commissioners, each commissioner precinct. Y'all start out at zero. Can this money, am I correct? Can this money be taken over, and how can that money be spent, or is it supposed to be legally put in the fund? In other words, to hold
It's
over.
in the general operating right now, doesn't it, Bruce?
Yes, it just goes into general operating. I think as far as the budget is concerned, I've just been budgeting over trends and going in the next year's budget, I've got an amount in there based on trends, and if you go to 10% and we budget conservatively, I don't know, we need to change the budget much, but we'll get more money in during the year, then we're gonna be in a deficit, budget next year anyway, overall.
Right, but we're not,
But I don't know that we can go in and.
Sales like we did last.
I don't know that we can go in and really figure out any extra, when you go to 10%, it's just gonna happen, and then a year later, we can be able to have a track record to see the increase.
I go along with this right here. If the Commissioner's Court says, I believe this needs to be done. But what I would like to look into to make sure that it can legally be done and the expenditures at that, or whether that is taken care of when the judge proposes a budget. Good example. I believe it was right at 16,000. You're over what you had your budget revenue for. You were saying that I could get 75,000. Well, you've collected 91,000 up to date, and I already told y'all what the other ones have. My deal is this right here. In reference to it, we need to check and make sure that that money is done like it is. He asked me, how do I get something? I said, well, what you do is you've come over 16,000. In reference to it, that's when you need to go to the Commissioner's Court and say, I need a gun, or I need this and that. That way it's budgeted. But what y'all are wanting to do basically is have your own fund sitting out here. You better check and see whether that's legal or whether it has to be done this other way. That's my point.
I never implied that we wanted it in our own accounts. I just assumed it would go into the general funds, just like my service fees do.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. We need to find out how we can do that.
It just shows more revenue for our departments. I never expected it to go into a private fund for Constable 1, Constable 2, or any of that. It was
Well, if you were,
in general fund, just like I say.
if you were expecting it to go into a fund in reference to each constable, that's why we need, because even that money that you make now on the fund is not actually involved in your budget except what we used to help start it out. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But Philip, they're saying they didn't want it to go to each individual precinct or budget. They wanted it to go into general operating fund. That's what
It's just a way to.
Well, they're talking about, they talked a while ago about possibly going into a fund, each one of them start doing their own warrants.
Well, I think you got us going down the wrong track, Philip.
Well,
I think you got us confused,
that's
and
my
I'm not.
I have a question.
That's my understanding.
I have a question.
Hang on, Commissioner Hutchins.
Yes, I guess Constable Benson, I'll address it to you, but whoever wants to answer can. As far as caps go, what were was it common in other counties to see caps? What was that amount?
And they're in that packet.
Okay.
In the back, but I want to say Collin County capped it at 6,500. They did 10% for the first 10,000, and then they dropped down to 5% for the remainder, but you got to know.
Or the sales price.
Sales price, and
Yeah.
they're selling a lot more dollar properties than what we're selling here.
Gotcha.
Rockwall was kind of the same scenario. Rains County capped theirs at 5,000, I think. You know, it varied across the board, and all of that was easily accessible on the Texas Comptroller's webpage. Just click on whatever county you want to look at, and scroll through it.
I agree that it's good, we can think about this some more and revisit it in a different meeting.
let's
Sitting here today, I think I like the idea of a cap, even if we don't think we're going to butt into it. Very often, just as a protection. And who knows, the market may go crazy again.
Well, we need to make sure too that if it's a sale that's struck off to any of the entities, there's no commission on that.
Right, yeah, and we understand that.
Yeah.
That's where we weren't asking for that 5% on, I'm gonna call it the backside, where we're charging the person 5% after they paid. You know, and it got struck off the sale list. It don't affect it.
Right.
Without the backside, like he's talking about, it doesn't affect a taxpayer that pays their own. All we're affecting.
Well, except the taxpayer that may be buying it is the local taxpayer, but a lot of that people from out of county are buying these properties.
Out of county people buying them and investors.
Investors, yeah. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the fee, but it's, we probably need to understand it a little bit better before we vote on it.
Agreed.
Okay? Thank y'all.
Yes, thank you.
So we'll table this and take it up next time. All right, before I get all my stuff mixed up here, let me get organized. All right, action item number 7, upgrade of approximately 2,640 feet of County Road 1088 from rock to oil sand in Precinct 1 at county's expense.
Make a motion, we approve this upgrade, Judge?
Second.
We have a second.
Got an upgrade, I've got a motion, now you got me confused. And that's easy to do. Got a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 8, the upgrade of approximately 2,655 feet of County Road 1089 from rock to oil sand in Precinct 1 at county's expense.
Judge, make a motion, we approve this upgrade?
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 9, upgrade of approximately 2,277 feet, County Road 1104 from rock to oil sand Precinct 1 at county's expense.
Judge, make a motion, we approve this upgrade?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 10, upgrade of approximately 2,288 feet of County Road 1105 from rock to oil sand Precinct 1 at county's expense.
Make a motion, we approve this upgrade?
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Upgrade of approximately 3,000 feet of County Road 1135 from dirt to rock in Precinct 1, money in escrow.
Judge, make a motion, we approve this upgrade?
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 12, upgrade of approximately 999.11 feet. Boy, somebody measured that one good. Of County Road 3216 from rock to oil sand in Precinct 3, monies in escrow.
Make a motion, we allow this to be done.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 13, upgrade of approximately 3,925 feet of County Road 4111 from rock to oil sand in Precinct 4 at county's expense.
Make a motion to approve this upgrade.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 14, the request to construct electrical power distribution facilities across County Road 2410 in Precinct 2.
I make a motion to approve this electrical power distribution under County Road 2410, Precinct 2, under usual stipulations.
Second?
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 15, the request to construct electrical power distribution facilities across County Road 3509 in Precinct 3.
Make a motion, we allow this with the normal stipulations.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item number 16, the conceptual paving plan for Briar Branch Estates in Precinct 1. Brian, Vance, y'all want to brief us on this?
All right, guys, what we've got is, this is a proposed plat that we've been dealing with Vance and the developers on. And what you have is you have a proposed paving plan. This is how they are proposing to upgrade the county roads surrounding the property and build the roads inside the property. Judge, I know that yesterday, whenever we spoke, you had some concern about making sure that there's enough water available for the development. They have contacted Caddo Basin, and they've already discussed that with Caddo Basin, so.
They're good?
Caddo's good.
Well, I just knew the size of the lots had changed and the numbers had gone up. I just want to make sure that we were still okay with this.
Right. So, looking at the drawing, what they've done is originally this, the plat submitted had a bunch of lots that were facing the existing county roads. They have changed that. All lots are now internal facing. None of them access the existing county roads. They will all access new streets that the developer is building. So, north of this subdivision, we have an existing subdivision that's already gone in. They've already paid for a section, the yellow section. They've already paid for that to be upgraded to oil sand. Going east of there, there's a green section.
That in the yellow is dirt. They paid for rock and oil sand.
They paid for rock and oil sand. This entire road that runs down the north side and the east side is dirt. So the yellow section is going to be brought up to rock and then oil sand. The green section east of that is going to be brought up to rock, and they're proposing leaving that east side dirt. There again, no lots are fronting on any of those roads. The internal streets will all be 28-foot wide asphalt with 60-foot right-of-way, open ditch drainage. And then the red section on the west side will be upgraded to oil sand with your typical county help at the county cost for materials with the developer paying that.
These are 1 acre lots?
Yeah.
1 acre lots.
Commissioners, we've had several conversations about this and asked the engineer for the project and the developer to reconsider instead of fronting. They started out wanting to front a bunch of 1 acre lots and then have the oil sand, and it was just going to tear up the road. There wasn't much, it wasn't going to hold up. So we've been trying to solve the problem, and we asked them to consider changing their street configuration and make the lots back up to our county roads, and for that, we would look at maybe some kind of alternative from all the upgrades from the external road like our requirement is. And everybody felt like no matter what we did, if we paved it all the way around, as our rules say, then they're still gonna hit a dirt road, so nobody's ever going out that way anyway. So we're hurting ourselves a little bit from the standpoint we're not getting that road improved, but there's no traffic really would ever go out that way very often anyway. And I think I'm correct on that, Mark.
Currently,
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate there. The other roads are improved already or are being improved. So we're thinking where that red line is, most of the traffic's going to come out and they'll either go north or south.
That's correct.
And off of whatever that road number is. And they've agreed to do the oil sand and upgrade the rock, all the way down that north side. And, I'm not a big fan of it, but I think I'm more of a fan of this than I am having a bunch of lots fronting the road, the county road. And I assume we'll have any restrictions that they have to face the new street, not the back road. Noted on the plat, good. So that we won't have any confusion about people trying to build and go out to the other side. They'll have to all face the new street. So I got mixed emotions about all of it, but, trying to work with our developers, and trying to, have some sort of common sense to the problem. I don't know. Like I say, I got mixed emotions.
This road on the back side, basically, it's going to be the dirt. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It's still stay dirt.
Does this road continue on around on this boundary? Is that a county road, or does it go down there?
Where are you talking about?
Here.
No, it keeps going south.
There's no road there. The road is on the north.
Goes here, there's nothing over here.
There's nothing on the south side of it.
It just keeps going south. It hits another road that goes back out to the east and then back out north, but it's dirt.
That's right.
And I think this is dirt all the way back down, or nearly all the way back to where it hits 36 at some point in time.
It's dirt
36,
going
is that
south for quite a ways, then it turns into a rock section and kind of meanders around back in there for a ways, so.
So, I mean, and some of these are big tracts. Are some of these owned by Walton Group that are adjacent out in this area?
I believe there may be some Walton tracks down south of there, but I'm not for certain.
Okay,
I don't know if they abut this property, but they do come near.
okay. I didn't know if they had some down on this road going further south. It would probably be developed at some time.
Who was that gentleman that owns that land across the road from it, right in here?
J.B. McNabb?
J.B. McNabb, yes.
This is, their original submittal on this had some through streets, had several places where the new roads would access the existing county roads. They've done away with that. This is a more of a neighborhood situation without the through streets, the cut-through roads that turn into drag strips and ways for people to get through to save 30, 45 seconds. It's pretty good that we don't put a whole lot of impact on those existing county roads. They can continue to be used as farm roads like they are now. And it concentrates all this new traffic to these two new streets that are coming out, and puts them onto the county road in a place that's going to be upgraded and pretty much oil sand all the way through from head to toe.
This road will be oil sand all the way through. It runs between two major FM roads, 2194 and 1569, yeah. So I think what this accomplishes is, as you just said, it pushes traffic to this one main thoroughfare, rather than having a whole bunch winding around it. So I do like that these lots are internal facing. The original design, having them all fronting the county road, was a big concern to me, given the density of it. You mentioned, Vance, that you'll note on the plat that they front toward internally. I guess, Brian, my question for you and Daniel, if it needs to be for him, would be, what is our enforcement mechanism if people come in and put a bunch of driveways there?
Well, I don't know if we could stop them from putting in driveways other than through the culvert permitting process, but as far as 911 addresses, they would all have to be off of these internal streets. They wouldn't be allowed 911 addresses off of 1074, which is the big dirt road. So that's that's one way that we can at least keep them fronting to.
Well, could we ask the developer to put a note on the plat also that no access will be granted to the lots on the county roads? Daniel, can we?
We can ask them to do that.
Yeah.
There's not a legal problem with that.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's just a matter of how we word it on the plat.
And I assume he's going to have some kind of restriction. He said these were all site-built homes, so I assume he'll put some kind of restrictions on it.
Yes, they're planning to have restrictions.
So if we could get the restrictions in it, in a note of some sort on the plat, that they can't have access driveways to the county roads. They all have to have access through the internal streets. Because if not, we're going to could be right back in the same problem. They're going to put rear entry garages in and go out the other way, and we're right back to the same problem, except we don't have a paved road then, so.
I agree with you, Judge. That needs to be on there because I don't know how many platted subdivisions. They're not supposed to have an exit onto others other than what's platted. They're not platted, so that would be good.
Yeah, I think we'd want to make that a stipulation that they do that. Any other comments, commissioners? We need, so they can get to work designing and all, I think we need to give them some kind of direction that this is acceptable to the court or not acceptable. So what's the pleasure? Mark, it's your precinct.
I'm satisfied with this, Judge. I think it accomplishes the important things that we asked of them, and I think it's going to be fair to the other taxpayers.
Daniel, I guess we need a motion that accepts the concept plan with the stipulation that no access will be granted to the existing county roads for driveway purposes, and that all interior lots must face the streets that are built within the subdivision and not face the county roads?
Yeah, but
That-
I might slightly change that to, instead of saying no access, include a restriction from access on the plat.
Yeah.
That way it'll run with the land, and the neighbors can enforce it against each other, and the county can enforce it, depending on what the law.
Well, I mean, if it's there, then we know it, then we won't give them a driveway permit or a culvert permit, so.
That won't keep them from just driving across.
That's true, yeah, that's true. But if they can put it in restrictions also, if the developer will put it in restrictions, be noted on the plat, then I guess that's the motion we're looking for.
Y'all gonna have this, is this gonna be an HOA with deed restrictions and all this?
I believe they will have deed restrictions.
Okay, why wouldn't you put that in the deed restrictions also?
That's what we're saying, we're gonna ask them to. We're gonna require them to do that.
It'll be in the restrictions on the plat.
It's better for us if it's on the face of the plat.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, we can't, dictate how they write their HOA requirements or their deeds or their restrictions, but as long as it's in the plat, it counts the same way.
Good enough.
all right, so well, I guess I'll make the motion and try to get it worded correctly, if that's all right with you, Mark. I mean, it's your precinct, but.
Go for it.
I make a motion that we accept the concept plan for the whole's got Briar Branch, is that what it is? Briar Branch, with the requirement that all the lots have to face to the internal side of the subdivision and should be noted so on the plat, and that there's, should be noted on the plat that there'll be no driveway permits given off of the county roads for any lots within the subdivision. And ask the developer to also put them in his restrictions if he's so inclined to, since I can't require that, is it?
That's right.
Okay,
It's, even if he doesn't have any of his restrictions, it's on the plat.
right, okay. So that's my motion.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Vance. I hope your people are happy with this. All right, where'd my list go? Action item number 17, amending plat of lots 83, 84 in addition to block N of part number 2 of phase 1 of Waco Bay Estates in precinct 3. Brian?
All right. This is one of those fantastic plats down there at the south end of the county that was done back in the 70s or 80s. Little bitty tiny lots. And on the original plat, lot 83 and 84 were actually shown as right-of-way. Potential future right-of-way to access another addition behind here. It was never built, the addition behind was never developed, and the lot numbering on the original plat actually omitted lot 83 and 84, so it was potentially an intention to develop these. The developer never sold these lots, has been paying taxes on residential lots since the creation of the lots, and honestly, they came and said, hey, this is shown as right-of-way, but for all practical purposes, it's lots. So they are amending the plat. They're not replatting. They are actually doing what looks like it was intended to happen. So they're tiny, tiny little lots. There again, whenever you get down there and you start dealing with these substandard lots around the lake, they were created so long ago, we can't change the past. They are what they are, and we can't do anything about them. So this thing, even though it was shown as a right-of-way, it was numbered, the lots were numbered as if they could have been lots or should have been lots, and they were never used for anything other than lots.
Are these only 2 lots in that subdivision like this?
These are the only ones that I'm aware of that are unbuilt right-of-way. When you look at that old plat, it can be a little bit confusing, but there was no other right-of-way that went to this other section of undeveloped property. And the undeveloped property has frontage on, I guess it's Dallas Pump Station Road, and it has frontage from other ways, so.
Really, all we're doing is just trying to clean up something that happened a long time ago.
Just cleaning up one of those old messes.
Yep.
And obviously, Tawakoni Planning and Zoning approved this as well.
Walkeny Planning and Zoning did approve it, and SRA has been involved with this somewhat as well. They have the
Judge,
septic.
understand this, I don't believe I like this any better than y'all on the .04 acres per lot. The thing about it is, it'd be up to the Sabine River Authority in reference to any type of sewer system in reference to that, and that's what's so weird to me. I have no problem allowing this to take place due to the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Board. This is one of those.
That's why we're calling it an amended plat. We're just trying to clean up something.
We're just trying to amend it and try to fix it.
Clean it up.
Trying to fix that old original plat.
Yeah. I entertain a motion for approval.
So move.
Second.
A motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item 18, the replat of lots 1 through 33 Holiday Estates in Precinct 3. Another one of these fun ones. This one's actually getting cleaned up and helping a lot.
Yes, it is. This is a replat, Judge.
So we gotta have a public hearing?
Correct.
Okay. At this time, I'll open up to a public hearing. Anybody that wants to speak to the replat of lots 1 through 33 Holiday Estates. Daniel, has anybody been online? Yeah. Okay. Being none, I'll close the public hearing. Okay, Brian, you want to brief us?
Yeah, this was 33 lots and an unbuilt road right-of-way. The lots were teeny tiny. I believe that the owners involved, I think you've got one person who bought some lots and has their house on it now. The other owners that were involved were somehow related to the original developer of Holiday Estates, whether they were the developer or heirs of. But they had, each one had a handful of these little bitty tiny lots. So they're going through and they're replatting all these horrible lots into nice, large, usable lots, and they're doing away with the right-of-way that was never built. We need to see more of these come through here.
Oh, yeah, they're cleaning up a mess.
Yeah. Lake Tawakoni P&Z did approve this, and they liked it, so.
May I ask you in reference to Lot 5R, where we had that road through there, do the people back to the west of that, are they allowed access to that house back there, or do you?
The people that live on 5R,
Yes.
they have a driveway on a section of where this old right-of-way was, but it's nothing more than a rock driveway, and they still own the lots, and they actually have to sign the plat as owners of.
Good enough.
Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Action item 19, the final plat of Hogeye Hill, Precinct 3.
Kind of disappointed the developer isn't here. Guys, this is a fairly simple plat up in that Celeste area. Right-of-way is clear and free of debris and brush, and it's 3 good-sized lots. I think he was originally wanting to do some 1-acre lots, but wanted to go ahead and get these things moving now and get it platted now.
All right, any questions? Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved?
Second.
A motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Action item 20, final plat of Wade Edition number 1 in Precinct 2.
This is a simple deal. Mr. Wade owns a large tract there. He's cutting off a little section of it on the south to sell. There's already a dedicated right-of-way in front of this property, even though it's not platted. So there's actually already a 60-foot right-of-way on this road that we have.
Okay. Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second?
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 21, the final plat of County View Acres in Precinct 3.
If you notice, these are all under acre and a half. They're all small, so this will have to be a conditional approval waiting on our order from the boys in Austin. Long, dusty rock road, pretty thick right-of-way with hackberry and cedar trees. It doesn't quite get out to the FM road, but there's about 105 feet left, I believe, between the subdivision and the FM road. But this is a nice big chunk of road that's going to be upgraded and oil sanded. And it's down there between Lone Oak and Miller Grove, kind of in an area we've been getting a little bit more attention to here lately.
Money has been put in escrow in reference to improving this road.
Money has been in?
Yes, sir.
Good.
It has been put in, and also, basically, they're clearing out right-of-way to where we can relocate. Also, for your information, I believe I advised you of this, that 115 foot from the highway department to the first lot 1. Basically, the gentleman that sold this said, hey, clear out the ditch and all this, and when he sells the other, he'll give a dedication of that. But he's allowed us to go on. It's going to be good.
Entertain a motion for approval with the condition that it not be recorded until we get our approval back from the state for the 1 acre lots for the septic systems.
So move.
Second.
I got a motion, second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 21, the final plat of County View Acres in Precinct 3. Oh,
That was.
oh, that's what we did, sorry.
Yes, sir.
I didn't check it off. Number 22, the final plat of how do you got anybody?
Volvo.
Montalvo Estates in Precinct 3. I'm not gonna be for it because I can't say it.
This one went through Lake Tawakoni P&Z. They approved with the, on the condition that the rest of the county regulations are met. I know that Commissioner Martin has given me an escrow figure, and I have not received any word back on that yet. So this will be conditional that they clear the right-of-way and pay for the road upgrade.
You gonna do that or just table it and see what they do?
Let's table it, if we may.
That's fine.
That way, because you've been given it, and they hadn't addressed it yet.
Yeah.
That'll be good, Judge.
I'd rather
Thank
do
you.
that.
Like that.
But then I gotta figure out how to say this name again.
Thank you.
Volvo.
Action item 23, the final plat of Emma Acres Edition Precinct 4.
Yes, we're gonna.
Do what now? Oh, okay. All right. Skipping 23, action item 24, the final plat of Fisher Edition number 1 in Precinct 4.
This is one we've, pretty simple one-lot deal. He does have to upgrade the road. It's rock, and he had to clear out the right-of-way, which he's taken care of for us. Selling to a family friend. It's not a big development. So
Money's in escrow?
waiting on the money to be escrowed. He was wanting the approval before he came down and paid for an upgrade.
We've measured it, we've gave him the price already.
He's aware of
Yeah, he's aware
of
of
everything.
All right. So conditional approval of this one then?
Yes.
Since we have been talking to him at least.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I entertain a motion for approval condition on money be placed in escrow for the upgrade of County Road 4119.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 25, the final plat of Riverside Acres Phase 1 in Precinct 4.
This one has been an absolute dream. I wish that every plat that we had went like this one. The developer has been very willing to work with us, very fast to work with us, paid for the road upgrade quickly, we had some concerns when Corey, the foreman, and I met out there and looked at it. The power poles were only about 5 or 6 feet off the edge of pavement. They were real close. There was not much room to do anything. We made mention to the developers, man, we're concerned about this. He contacted Encore and got them to move all the power poles back. They're putting them in our easement.
They've already moved them?
They're waiting on the plat to be.
On the plat to be done before.
Okay.
So that they can have their easement. They were wanting to move them back, and they'd still be just inside the dedicated right-of-way. We wanted them to move them on back into this easement that we get.
Yeah.
So they're waiting on the plat to be approved. Encore will move the poles probably within the next couple of weeks, and then they'll be ready for upgrade.
We got money in escrow for the
Yeah.
Yes.
upgrade, so. All right. Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Anything else? Daniel, no questions online? I entertain a motion to go into executive session under items 1 through 4.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We're going to executive session at 11:35. Yes. We're going to do it. Is Brandon on his way? Buddy, howdy, bud.
Judge, are you off?
Judge, you're not off yet, Judge.
Judge, you're still live.
You're off.
if I can get us back up.
We're back up.
We're live.
All right, it's 12:34 and we're back in regular session. Before we get to the agenda items to end the meeting, I meant to make a statement earlier in the meeting, and I would like to make it now and make the court and the public aware of what a great job Jeannie Ash is doing at the elections office. She has already been here, I guess, less than 18 months. She's already got us collected for over $150,000 in back bills that never got sent out to the state and to all the entities that owed us money by previous elections. She's got those cleaned up and over $150,000 collected. And then she was told when we bought our machines, the new election equipment, that there was no state money available, and she stayed on the Secretary of State and stayed on them and stayed on. And we signed and got $80,000 in last week.
Not bad for somebody that a lot of people opposed to put in there.
That's right, not bad. She paid her salary for 3 years. She's been here 18 months. So I want to congratulate Jeannie on a great job she's doing and recognize her and keep up the good work. So we'll take up a tabled item, the one we passed on was the action item 23, final plat of Emma Acres Edition in Precinct 4. I make a motion, we approve it with a contingency that the litigation between the county and Summit Ranch all be settled. Dismissed.
Second.
All right, motion and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. I'll make a motion that we enter into the memorandum of understanding with the City of Greenville, the Hospital District, and Caddo Mills, City of Caddo Mills, and us, and Green Brick Partners. I'll make a motion we enter to that agreement, a memorandum of understanding.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And then I'll make a motion that we authorize a budget amendment, if necessary, to raise potential salaried position in IT to $70,000. And if there's not enough money in their budget under payroll, that money be transferred out of contingency to fulfill that obligation.
Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Is that it? That's all of it? Nobody's online? No comments? No other comments from the court? Being none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned at 12:37.
Shut us off.